What's up, y'all? It's your girl Chanel from Complex Simplicity, and I have a lovely guest, my husband, Patrice, who is going to be a part of our Candid all the way Chanel. He's not into all of that. So, being how the holidays are coming up, maybe let me back it up. Maybe you should say hello to the people out there, love.
Hello. How you doing?
So being how the holidays are coming up, I've shared on this website on a few occasions how my husband is very fiscally responsible, and I wanted him to share a few helpful tips to those who can be like me and struggle with money management from time to time as the holidays are approaching. And so my question to you, Mr. Casimir, would be, what would you say is, well, let me back it up again. How did you become so fiscally responsible?
Well, it was basically my parents. My parents were immigrants, so they were frugal with their money 95% of the time. My father used to always tell me, if you don't have the cash, basically don't do it. I know a lot of people want to charge this, charge that. I know credit is the thing of the future, and you definitely need credit, but, you got to have your cash. That's the most important thing about it.
I feel you. And for those who don't know out there, I've dated him for a long time before we were married, and he has helped me to get better. I'm still a work in progress, but you definitely have helped me to think about my purchases and think about the bigger picture, the bigger goal. And like you said, if you ain't got it, don't buy it. I love to shop, but I've cut down tremendously. So now that it's the holidays, there are a lot of parents who want to buy things for their kids, have these amazing Christmases for them or for their families, their loved ones, spouses, significant others. The list goes on. What would be your number one, maybe helpful tip for them not to go into debt or start the new year off in debt?
Basically, what I used to do, when I know I got a big shopping list ahead of me, I try to keep a budget in my mind. I would definitely have a number, and I'll try to stick to the number. I would, at times I would try to, I may go over, but I would definitely stick to a number. I'll definitely try to fit everybody within that number range, but stick to the number. Try not to break, If you try to find something cheaper than what it is, substitute for it. But, stick to the number. The best way to go.
I love that. So if you say my limit is $1,000 for gift giving, stick with that. Everyone who you're going to buy a gift for, they got to fall within that range, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever your amount is. I just threw that out there. That's a helpful tip. Because it's so easy. I know I've even been guilty of this, starting the new year off, and I'm like, oh my goodness, and I'm waiting for the next paycheck, and I done robbed Peter to pay Paul, because that's what I do a lot of times, right? And now I have serious bills that need to get paid, and I can't really pay them because I done bought this person, this family member, these gifts. Not that they were extravagant gifts, but I was dipping into money I didn't have in the first place to kind of buy gifts. And so maybe even a tip I'll add is start trying to do your shopping early. November, start trying to get it done. I know people who start their shopping from September, October, while things are still priced well. So maybe that's also another tip too. Okay. And then overall, my husband's a huge saver. I'm like the worst at this. I've gotten better. But what is your number one tip for saving money? How is it that you're able to, even if you are not bringing in as much as one would want, to still save a little something?
Once again, I go back to the way my parents brought me up and used to tell me, regardless, every time you got to pay, at least pay yourself once per check. If you could do twice a check, that's fantastic. But
or maybe twice a month?
Yeah, twice a month. That would be fantastic. But my whole thing is that you got to pay yourself before you pay anybody else. $10, $5, $20. Pay yourself back. Everybody works hard. I know everybody would like to take a trip here and there, splurge on themselves. Pay yourself back. Put something in your stash, put something under the mattress. A lot of mattress money is very important out here. So that's the way to go. That's how I did it.
I feel that. My dad used to say the same thing. He said that he was always taught you pay yourself first. And so even if it is, like my husband said, $5, $2, $10, $20 or more, you put something aside for yourself. And Now there are ways where you can set your bank account up in a way where it does that. That's what I had to do because I wasn't good with putting it aside on my own. So I have a certain amount taken from each check, and so yes. But sometimes it's hard not to dip into that though, because I'm guilty of that sometimes. You dip in or you're negative balance and you're like, oh, I gotta take this from here to put it here.
My whole thing is, if you're gonna dip in for it, if it's important, you gotta dip into it. I would try not to dip in all the way. I'll take, if it's a $10 dip in, listen, I better have 20 in there. If it's $10 I only have in there, I'll take 8. I'll take 7. But you can't dip in the entire amount that you do put in. You're stealing from yourself.
I like that. You're stealing from yourself, folks. Chanel, you're stealing from yourself. I don't know. I just thought this would be helpful because Christmas is coming. It's Thanksgiving next week. And maybe these 3 helpful tips will help you out there. I know they're going to continue to help me. So like I said, with Candid Talk with Chanel, I'm trying to have other people's perspectives, not just mine. Y'all know how I feel and how I think. So I thank you, hubby, because he's not a camera kind of guy, but for being on camera and sharing your helpful tips for fiscal responsibility. Continue to rock with your girl by going to complexsimplicity.com. And until next time, and see ya.